Hey guys, I'm Beth, and this is BookMas Day 3. On the third day of BookMas, my true love gave to me 3 best friends. I'm going to not at all adhere to the rules of the day, though, because I've decided to give you best friends from a few different segments of genres and age levels. So, let's get started, shall we? First up, I have for you the picture books children's section. So my pick for this was Carl's Afternoon in the Park by Alexandra Day. You can see there's Carl, the full-grown Rottweiler, and there's a puppy pouncing on him. And Mommy sends the baby off with the puppy and Carl while she and her friend have a nice cup of tea. And I'm sure she's not imagining at all what they get up to, but this is just a great little picture book. It's only got a few sentences in it, and it was given to me by a dear family friend when my daughter was born, and it's just been, I have a Rottweiler, and he's 13, and she's 3 at this point, so it's been a lot of fun reading it. They both enjoy looking at it with me, so I just love that book. Then my daughter picked out a couple for you, so Llama Llama Time to Share by Anna Dewdney, because this is the first time we meet Nellie New, and Nellie New and Llama Llama become best friends, but there's some llama drama with Fuzzy Llama before that happens, and we love the llama books, and it's just a lot of fun. At the end of this book, it says, Nellie will be back, and then Llama wants to share again. They'll be friends, kind of thing going on there, so we enjoy that. Next we have Tinkerbell. Now my daughter's entire room is done up in Tinkerbell, and her playroom is done up in Curious George, and those are the last two that we have to talk about for the picture books children's section. Tinkerbell's best friends are Fawn and Rosie and Iridessa and Silvermist, Vidya, Bobble, and Clank. I feel like I've missed someone. And Terrence. So there they are. Let's find a picture. There you go. And we love watching those, and we love reading the books. We've got the big story books, so we love that. And then we love Curious George. And we are, I'm raising a nerd, and I love it, but we take the books, and when a book that we have is one of the shows that's on PBS or that we're watching on Netflix, we'll take the book and we'll read along with the show, and then we see what they've left in, what they've left out, and so we get to see a lot of things in the books. Now, these are by the Scholastic, the ones I'm showing you, so they're actually geared off of the shows, which were based off the original stories, and so some things have been changed, and they fit mostly together. But there's the Man in the Yellow Hat and George, and they're best friends. And then we've got, this one has the Man in the Yellow Hat, and there's Jumpy Squirrel. Oh no, I'm sorry. There's Bill and George. This one has Jumpy Squirrel on it. And then this one has Marco, who is one of George's best friends from the city. There's Marco. So he's got a lot of good friends, and we love going through that. And we talk a lot about friendship and ways to be a good friend from those picture books. All right, next we're going to talk about best friends from middle grades. So I've got Rump, The True Story of Rumpelstiltskin by Liesl Shurtleff. And the best friends in here are Red and Rump, and they have a very odd friendship, but it's also a lot of fun to kind of see them realizing that they really do like each other, and they are friends, and in fact they're kind of each other's only friend, and Liesl did a really good job with that friendship. And then I've got Chasing Vermeer by Blue Ballier, and this is Petra Andale and Calder Pillay are friends, and they start out not really liking each other even, and then slowly relying on each other more and more, and it just really showcases their friendship and how it grows, and they're solving a mystery at the same time, so it's a lot of fun, and I really, really enjoyed that. Next, I have the young adult novels for friendships, and of course, everyone's going to say Ron, Hermione, and Harry, also Fred and George, and not Percy at all, but the rest of them, Ginny, Neville, everybody, amazing friendships in these books. So everyone's going to be putting that in their stuff, I figured I'd just be a joiner. I also want to mention very quickly Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. I haven't read the second 2 books yet, the second and third book, but this one, I loved the way some of them just kind of immediately accepted Jacob and wanted to show off and try to either scare him away or be his friend. They didn't care which. Some of them accepted him because of Abraham, and Abraham and he were, Abraham was his best friend and his grandpa, so those relationships were really, really well done. Ransom Riggs did a great job with that. The last book in the young adult portion I want to mention is yet another shout out to myself, but I would like to mention Dragon on My Neck, which is the first book in my young adult series, the Stone Dragon Saga. I only want to mention it because the 4th book is going through editing and beta reading right now, and I was really struck again as I was going over everything the other day by how much the friendships have deepened and changed as I've grown and as I've written these books. So like I said earlier, friendship is really difficult to write. I have a lot of friends. It's still difficult to write a true friendship and make it feel right. So obviously you don't have to go check my book out if you don't want to, but if you want to, it's really great. It has some great friends. It has dragons becoming friends with humans. And now we're going to talk about the adult section. So I actually have fiction and nonfiction for the adult section on Friends. First, I want to mention Nora Roberts. She does friendship really, really, really well. I have the Garden trilogy to show you, the Blue Dahlia, the Black Rose, and Red Lily. And these books, this trilogy focuses on a set of 3 women that come together, and they don't know each other to begin with. But there's Rosalind, and there's Stella, and then I think the third one, the younger one, is Haley. Yeah, Haley. And they come together to work together, and they're all trying to make new lives and move things together and just kind of change a little bit. And they wind up being best friends, and they fight a ghost, and it's great. But her friendships are really amazing, and I love the way she often does trilogies and focuses on a group of 3 usually strong female leads, and then the men and outside friends that are kind of part of their lives. Next, I want to talk about The Status of All Things by Liz Fitton and Lisa Steinke. This book is great. It's fabulous. It is a wonderful mid-30s kind of, almost a coming of age in your mid-30s story. And Kate, her best friends are Jules and Liam, and they've been friends forever. Liam's been their best friend since college, and it's all about how her fiance tells her that, he doesn't love her, or he loves her but he can't marry her, and they're just going through this time together, and she time travels, and her friends are the only ones who know, and it's because she tells them, and they just trust her because they've been best friends for so long. I've also got Pride and Prejudice, and this is by Jane Austen, of course. The friendship between Lizzie and Charlotte is fabulous. The friendship between the sisters is great. Lizzie and Jane are amazing. Bingley and Darcy are great friends, and it's just, I love the way things work. Mother and father, Bennett, they are hilarious because they love each other and they're best friends, and they love to needle at each other and fight, and it's just a different kind of friendship that you can see, and I love the way this is written. And then for the other, I have Headstrong, 52 Women Who Changed Science and the World. About 49 of these little short biographies include best friends and how they work together, and this is just great. If you haven't checked it out, you should. I believe it won a Goodreads award. If it didn't, I know it was in the finalists. And then the other is The Journey That Saved Curious George, The True Wartime Escape of Margaret and H.A. Ray by Louise Borden, illustrated by Alan Drummond. Margaret and H.A. Ray were best friends, and then they worked together, and then they became best friends. And then they got married, and they had to escape World War II. And it's just a great story about how we get Curious George, as well as everything else that they did, the verses and the art and their life everywhere. They actually had monkeys that lived with them for a while. So it's amazing. It's a great book, and you need to check it out if you have an affinity for monkeys, Curious George, artists, or just loving a good nonfiction story. And that is all I have for you guys today. I know I took a little longer than I should have, but I hope that I had something that you enjoyed and you will check out now. If you have any recommendations for books with best friends, or if you've read anything that I mentioned and you want to talk to me about it, leave me a comment down below. I can't wait to hear from you. Until next time, bye.